It is 3:15. Welcome everyone to this coffee lecture powered by ETH-Library. My name is Julian Widerke. I work in the team for research data management and digital curation at the ETH-Library. And today I would like to present to you the topic of research data publishing, what you must do and what you gain. So it is about regulations, but also about benefits. The slides will be made available on the Coffee Lecture website of the ETH Library after today's Coffee Lecture and in the upcoming days. The 2 points that I would like to address with this Coffee Lecture are: first, you will understand the potential benefits of publishing and sharing research data, and second, you'll be familiar with core requirements and principles of good practice in research data publishing. And when we talk about research data sharing and data publishing, we can, of course, think about potentially many forms of data sharing. They can refer to sharing data with collaborators, sharing data with team colleagues or lab members, or also sharing data on request via a link to a personal cloud. However, if we talk about data sharing in an open science context with publicly funded research, then usually what data sharing refers to is open data publishing. So within the context of this coffee lecture, I'll also stick to this wording. When I say data sharing, I mean publishing research data in a suitable data repository so that they will be openly accessible and findable for everyone. And I would like to start with the potential benefits of data sharing. On the one hand, each of you or each of us as researchers can potentially benefit from data sharing in terms of gaining career recognition, because research data sets nowadays become more and more citable research output in their own right. So they can contribute to citations, they can be referenced in CVs, and if research data are available and visible, then they can also facilitate new collaborations. But of course, there's also benefits to the wider science context in society. We can imagine that citizen science project could be built on openly available research data. We can imagine that companies might be interested in publicly shared data. It can increase trust in science if data are made openly available, and it eases data validation. Last but not least, it will also be beneficial for peers in your research field if research data are openly published. They could potentially reuse data in other research projects or in teaching. If they are easily findable, it makes it easier for them to access archived and preserved data, and it can just make research much more efficient. We can also see that data sharing and data publishing have benefits by the fact that the Swiss academies since 2023 award the Swiss National Open Research Data Prize. And there's also a number of studies that show that openly published research data can actually mean a citation advantage if they are linked to publications. Data reuse and open data can contribute to more citations, and there's also benefits for society at large and the economy in terms of making science openly available. So there's a number of potential benefits here. However, on the other side of the coin, there's also, of course, some regulations that need to be taken into account that relate to good scientific practice, but also just to how ETH Zurich governs the use of research data and data publication. And when it comes to data publishing regulations at ETH Zurich, there's two key guidelines at stake here. The first one are the ETH Zurich guidelines on scientific integrity, and the second one are the guidelines for research data management at ETH Zurich. With this coffee lecture, I want to give you a short overview about the key requirements and the major points that relate to data publishing within these key guidelines at ETH Zurich. First, let's focus on scientific integrity. What are the major points related to data publishing in these integrity guidelines? They focus firstly on the point that for ensuring reproducibility, reliability, and accuracy, the relevant research data and key materials on which results of a publication are based shall follow the FAIR principles, which are basically the gold standard for handling research data. Second, they also specify that relevant research data and key materials on which results of a publication are based are supposed to be documented in an appropriate manner. That includes methods, software, and work processes behind handling research data, and they should be handled in accordance to the applicable regulations by ETH Zurich, but also by research funding organizations, for example, the Swiss National Science Foundation. Research data are also supposed to be securely stored in repositories and data archive during an appropriate period of time. That sometimes relates to the subject area the research is done in. And third, research data are supposed to be accessible unless there are reasons for confidentiality, data protection, or protection of personality of intellectual property. So there can be legal or ethical reasons for not disclosing research data, but otherwise the default would be that research data are made accessible from the point of view of scientific integrity. And in that way, reproducibility and reliability can be fostered. When it comes to the RDM guidelines that more specifically address research data management, the major points that relate to data publication are the following. Generally, research data must be published in a FAIR repository and at the time of publication of results. That means at the same time as a paper is published in a research journal, the underlying data are supposed to be published as well, unless there are restrictions. Second, all publications of research results must contain a data availability statement. This is a short statement that can read like in this example. The data underlying this article are available in a certain repository and can be found at a certain location, which is usually indicated with a persistent identifier, like a DOI. The third major point is that if a recognized ETH external FAIR repository is used for the data and for depositing them there, then it is recommended to register a metadata-only item in the ETH research collection linking to the dataset. And that way, the data output of ETH Zurich is also registered in the institutional repository. And another major point I would like to highlight here is that ETH Zurich supports the publication of research data and programming code as independent and citable academic achievements. That points back again to the question of benefits, making research data citable in their own right. So these are the major points related to data publishing when it comes to the RDM guidelines. In a nutshell, I would like to highlight once again, the RDM guidelines at ETH Zurich require that research data and programming code that are directly relevant for a publication, for example, a paper, they should be published and deposited in a FAIR data repository, including their metadata. That means they should be published simultaneously with the associated results. It can also mean that this is a selected subset of the overall dataset of the project. It does not mean that you have to publish all the research data in a project. It mainly means that the replication dataset of a particular paper needs to be published at the same time as the paper. And of course, in case of ethical or legal restrictions, metadata-only entries are considered an appropriate solution so that the dataset is visible, even though the actual research data cannot be shared due to ethical or legal reasons. So these are the requirements in a nutshell for data publishing at ETH Zurich. How can we now address publishing research data? How is this properly done? At minimum, not only ETH Zurich, but also funding agencies expect the data underlying a results publication are published, unless there are any ethical or legal restrictions. Additional data, like raw data or unexploited parts of the collected data, can be shared too, of course, and this is also encouraged by the guidelines and funding agencies. Data should be published in compliance with the FAIR data principles, as basically the gold standard of handling and publishing research data. The data repository where data are placed is supposed to be public, and metadata must be openly available. There should be a persistent identifier for your research data, and one should apply a common, permissive, and open license, such as the Creative Commons CC BY license or the public domain dedication CC0. And a long-term preservation plan should be in place, which is usually the case if you select a professional FAIR data repository. Finally, commercial repositories should be avoided whenever possible. This is explicitly specified also in the RDM guidelines at ETH Zurich. The resources that can help you with achieving this is, for example, our step-by-step guide on data publication, which you can find via our website or our wiki. And as I mentioned, these slides will be available after the coffee lecture on the library website for coffee lectures. So this is the how. Now let's have a look at where to publish data. This can either be in a discipline-specific or a catch-all repository. And if you choose a data repository that follows the FAIR principles, you can be sure that you're on the right track. Keep in mind that GitHub or GitLab repositories are not considered a FAIR data repository. The resources that can help you with this is either a repository at your research institution. In our case, it's the ETH Research Collection that's available to all of you. Elsewhere, you could choose Zenodo, that is well known. It's also a catch-all repositories for all fields. Or you could check for your specific research field in the resources listed here, re3data.org or fairsharing.org. And our guide for data repositories can also support you with selecting a suitable data repositories. All of these links are available on our website or wiki. And finally, the question, when to publish research data. Funders, as well as ETH Zurich, require that the data underlying a publication are made available at the same time as the results publication. Publishers often also require that the data are not published earlier than the result publication. This leads to a couple of recommendations. First, you can pre-register a DOI. For example, this is possible with the ETH Research Collection, and this DOI can be included in your publication manuscript, and the data could be uploaded either prior to the review process or also after the publisher's review process. And a key point is also that one does not readily transfer research data and the accompanying rights to the publisher for publication on their website, because doing so may limit reusability depending on the license. We can see that there's more and more efforts that recognition is gained also for research output. ETH Zurich clearly states that, but we can also see that research publishers increasingly commit to recognizing authorship of open research data. This was it for today's coffee lecture. I hope I could give you a short, concise overview. In case you have any questions, I'm available for the next couple of minutes, or you can also reach out to me and my team via the email addresses listed here. The next coffee lecture will be in a week on the topic Picture This using Gen AI to create images, and we would be happy to welcome you again. And we would also be glad if you can fill our short feedback survey that will appear in a second. Thank you for your attention, and I'm available for questions.